The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hello there. My name is Kyle Fisher, head basketball coach and principal at Harrisburg High School and member of the Missouri Milestones list presented by Playing on Sports and the Missouri Sports Network. Be sure to give them a follow on X at Sports Guy and at Playing_Sports and Missouri Sports Network. This has been the most complete list of Missouri high school athletes and accomplishments anywhere. Weekly interviews, stats, and scores updated almost daily. Give them a chance to earn your fandom. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Missouri Milestones, the podcast, Season 1, Episode 16 here on September the 4th, 2025. We're a week into the high school schedule, but we're about 4 months into Missouri Milestones, the podcast, Episode 16. And we certainly appreciate Kyle Fisher, the principal and head basketball coach at Harrisburg High School, who was kind enough to jump on with us along with Steve Combs from a week ago and talk a little Harrisburg, Missouri Milestones. Hey, do what they say. We encourage you. Go to our X accounts, at Scoreboard Guy and at Playing_Sports, also at Missouri Sports Network. Go to our YouTube page and subscribe at the Missouri Sports Network. Go to our Facebook page and give us a like, and then you will know every time one of these episodes come out. And as I mentioned, we are in week 16 or episode 16, week 16. Ken, it doesn't feel like it's been that has really flown by.
That's right. And we started with Missouri Milestones with 1,000-point career scoring list for both boys and girls. We now have over 1,500 boys and over 1,200 girls, and it won't be long before the combined lists are total more than 3,000 Missouri athletes. Those lists will continue to grow as we dig out more and more of the Missouri high school history, and also as we record and recognize those who will cross that threshold each season starting this year. Due to the strong response for the basketball career stats, we have expanded to include 3 stats for football and 5 stats for volleyball, both boys and girls. For football, the thresholds are 4,000 passing yards, 2,000 rushing yards, and 2,000 receiving yards. For volleyball, the thresholds are 1,000 career kills, assists, or digs, and also 200 total blocks and 100 service aces. It will be fun to not only note athletes who achieve inclusion on more than one statistic in their sport, but also those who achieve inclusion in more than one sport. We know of some of those athletes, and we will find more. Some of you are wondering just where you can find these lists and how you can contribute. The easiest way to see the list as they get updated is to follow us on X. Follow Guy Newcomb at Scoreboard Guy, and follow me, Kent Mueller, at Playing_Sports. By following us, you will get updated lists as they become available. And when you see those lists, 2 of the things that can happen include you seeing a correction that needs to be made, or you could have athlete information that we need to include. All you have to do is email me at playingonsports@gmail.com. That's playingonsports@gmail.com. Now that you are following us on X and you know how to contact us, let's get to the Missouri Milestones interview of the week. In today's interview, Guy Newcomb sat down with a prolific scorer from the southern part of Missouri. Kelsey Winfrey graduated from Lebanon High in 2017, but not before she scored 2,052 points. From Lebanon, she went on to play collegiately at both the University of Missouri and Brewer University. And when you hear what all she has to say, you will find that she is the second member of Missouri Milestones to have shared a college roster with one of the best-known players currently in the WNBA. Guy will be back with Kelsey Winfrey right after these words from our sponsor, so don't miss it.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. The heartbeat's strong, steady, unwavering, like the people who keep this country moving, doing what they do best. Helping neighbors, pitching in, getting it done. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. And every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
Seems Bill's up the creek without a paddle. That's not funny. And while he really wants a new boat, at Central Bank, we're helping Bill plan for what's most important. Like retiring early and fishing whenever he wants. Hey, Bill, try it again.
Fine.
Hope a new boat's part of this plan.
Dream bigger, Bill. We're thinking about a cabin, too.
Now that's a plan.
The Walnut Street Inn is located in the heart of Springfield on historic Walnut Street, just blocks away from the Missouri State Campus, Hammons Field, Great Southern Arena, and downtown Springfield. The Walnut Street Inn features newly remodeled rooms, breakfast served daily, and a friendly, accommodating staff. The Walnut Street Inn is also a great venue for private events. Book your stay or get more information at walnutstreetinn.com or call 417-864-6346.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 290,000 participants here in Missouri who take part in high school sports or activities.
The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back to Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And see, Missouri Milestones, the podcast, and we go to actually Springfield, Missouri, which was new to me, to 2017 Lebanon graduate, scoring more than 2,000 career points in high school, Kelsey Winfrey. Kelsey, thanks so much for your appearance today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And Kelsey, we have a rule here at the Missouri Sports Network. In order to be an official friend of the show, you have to come on 3 times. This is your second, so you got one more time, you'll be a friend of the show.
One more appearance.
One more appearance. But we've been traveling around the country, talking with young men and women, and in one case, a 1963 graduate of CBC High School, Jimmy Gummersbach, who made this list. This was started about 12 weeks ago. We've been making our rounds, but extremely glad to be able to catch up with you again. Did not realize you were back in Springfield, but Kelsey, tell us a little bit about what you remember about your high school career. Were there moments that really stand out? Maybe it was your 1,000th point. Maybe it's your 2,000th point. Maybe it was a district championship. What are some moments that you look back on that you won't forget?
Yeah, I think you hit the main 3 that I can think about. I loved playing at Lebanon. I was able to play varsity all 4 of my years, starting as a freshman, and it was just a go-getter team. We were small. We didn't have tons of talent, and we were playing teams like Kickapoo, Ozark, Nixa. So we were gritty and went after it every time we stepped on the court. And I remember my 1,000th point. It was at Marshfield. And I know that Lauren Aldridge has just done the Missouri Milestones, and I actually played against her at Marshfield for my 1,000th point. And that was when I was a sophomore. And then my senior year was when I scored my 2,000th point against Rolla. I remember it was on a free throw. And that game I was frustrated with myself because I had missed like 5 free throws. And my dad, I could hear him. He's like, if you make your free throws, you could score your 2,000th point. And so I happened to finally hit a free throw and get my 2,000th. And that year we also won districts, and that was a fun game. So yeah, I miss it. I miss playing high school basketball with all my buddies.
Talk about some of those young ladies that you got to play with. You still have interaction with them. I know you're back in the area, so to speak, being in Springfield, working as a nurse there at the hospital. You have still maintained some connections to some of those, and who were some of those that you played with?
Yeah, I just saw one of them last night, actually. Jaden Offit, she's now Jaden Schmidt. We go to church together and we lead a small group together, so we see each other all the time. And we have girls in our small group that play basketball, and we always are reminiscing, saying, "Well, when me and Jaden were in high school, we did this," and yeah, and Maddie O'Connor and Faith Allward, I still see them all the time. So it's like we haven't been graduated for almost 9 years now. It was just like the old days, and that's the good thing about Lebanon. We're such a small town, and we can catch up like no time has passed.
Looking back on, and you talked about some of those moments, who were maybe some of the rivalry team-wise? You mentioned Kickapoo, Ozark, Nixa, but do you have individual players that you really enjoyed playing against that stand out to you to this day?
Yeah, well, rivalry-wise, Lebanon and Camington, that was always our big rival. That was always the most fun game. And I mean, Haley Frank, she went to Stratford, and we would always play them. And she was getting recruited by the same school as I was getting recruited, so it was always really fun playing against her. I mean, there were so many good girls in our grade and that we could play against. I can't think of any others on the top of my head, but Haley Frank is the main one, and we'd always go after it. And then after the game, we would talk. And then I was at Mizzou a little bit before she was, and so I helped recruit her and showed her around campus and everything at Mizzou. So.
Now you make that decision to go to Mizzou. Talk about that decision and what it was like when you got there. What was that jump going from playing high school basketball and going into playing in the SEC?
Yeah, it was a huge jump going from small town Lebanon to going up to Mizzou and playing in the SEC and competing against like Asia Wilson, the South Carolina, LSU, Tennessee, all those big schools. But and getting to play, I got to play with Sophie Cunningham, the Porters, and Lauren Aldridge, and I loved my time at Mizzou. I learned so much. I got to play against, I mean, so many players in the WNBA now, and I'm like, wow, I played against them when I was at Mizzou. Played with them when I was at Mizzou, like Sophie, and so it was a really cool experience. But I didn't get like a ton of playing time at Mizzou, and so I decided to transfer to Drury, which was a really hard decision. But I got to play under Coach Mueller, which is now at Arizona State coaching, but got to play under her, and that year was COVID, but we went 31-0, and we were ranked first in the nation, and no team even touched us. We just blew everyone out of the water, and then here comes NCAA tournament, and then everything got canceled because of COVID. Then my senior year at Drury, we actually lost in the national championship game. But it was such a fun ride in college and high school both.
As you look at those that influenced you, and I don't tell you, I interviewed Coach Will Christian for a football preview earlier this week, and I kind of mentioned to him that you were coming up, and he wanted me to make sure and tell you hi. But if you look back on those coaches that influenced you at the high school level and the collegiate level, can you talk about some of those?
Yeah, of course. Well, since you mentioned Will Christian, he actually was my football coach for 1 year when I kicked for football. And, he didn't have to coach me a lot because I was just the kicker. But just sitting in the locker room and sitting on the field and just how he would lead. And it was just, he's one of my favorite coaches by far. And he was my athletic director in high school too, and he would always come to all the basketball games and everything. And he's amazing. He's great. But I'd also have to say Coach Miller, and then also Coach Egan. She was at Drury. I felt like they really developed me as a player, and it was hard transitioning from D1 to D2 and all the rules and COVID. It was a really hard time, but they were awesome, and they really developed me as a player and took us to the national championship game. It was just fun. Like, we were competing at a high level and we were winning, and it was just a good environment, and it was fun.
Since you've graduated college now, tell us a little bit about your decision professionally and what has that been like? And do you use some of those things that you learned on the basketball floor in your profession?
Yeah. So I'm a nurse now. I'm in the emergency room at Cox South, where we're a level 1 trauma center there. And so we get these traumas where these people are really sick, and um, like the adrenaline I get in the ER room when we get a class 1 trauma, it like parallels with the adrenaline of like a basketball game, being on the basketball court. And so I think that's why I tell everyone I like it so much. It's like I get those adrenaline rushes like in basketball games, like when you're coming out of a timeout and you have like 30 seconds left. That's like what I feel like. I'm like, wow, we got like this amount of time to like do this, or this patient's going to decline and they're not going to make it. And so um, yeah, it like keeps me going. I miss basketball, but being in the ER, it's like kind of gives me the same feeling of some of those games.
My youngest daughter just graduated from nursing school, and she works up in Bolivar at CMH now. So she
Oh
enjoys
yeah.
it as well, and the interaction. And she was always very interactive. In high school, she was student body president, things like that. So she's a talker as well. But
Yes.
Kelsey, tell us a little bit about. I know you had a brother that played. Tell us about your family, how they are, and what they're doing.
Yeah. So my brother, we're really close. He's only a year older than me, and we played football. He was the quarterback at Lebanon when I was the kicker, and so he was super protective every time I'd go out on the field. And um, we would always play one-on-one on basketball together, and I always tell him, I'm always like, I'm the better athlete, right? And so I'll have to tell him, I was like, did you get invited on this podcast? Because I did, because we always go back and forth like that. But yeah, he's doing good. He's actually pastor at First Baptist Church in Lebanon now, and um, he's doing very well. My parents are doing very well. They're all still in Lebanon. Um, and I'm actually an aunt now. My brother had a baby, and then my older sister, she has 2 kids. So the family's doing good.
Good. Again, visiting with 2017 Lebanon Lady Yellow Jacket, Kelsey Winfrey, who at graduation was the all-time leading scorer in Lebanon history. Kelsey, if you could get in a time machine and go back to that 7th, 8th grader, Kelsey Winfrey, and give her some advice based on what you know right now as an adult and a professional, what advice would you go back and give that young Kelsey Winfrey?
The advice I would give, looking back, 7th, 8th grade, I was such a go-getter, and I was such a hard worker, and I wanted to try everything in the book. Like, I wasn't just set on basketball. Obviously, like, I wanted to do football. I did cross country. I did track, soccer. I did it all, and I love that about my younger self, and I wouldn't change that at all. But one thing I would tell my younger self was just to not worry about anything. Don't worry if you didn't get a PR on track, if you didn't beat your record in cross country, if you didn't score a single point in a game. Don't worry about it. Like, just enjoy the ride and have fun, because before you know it, you'll be working a job and not have sports anymore. And so I think that's what I would tell her. But I would also have to tell her that I was very proud of her, because she went through a lot, and she was a very hard worker, and a lot of it paid off. So that's what I'd have to say.
I got to see you play many times, whether it be, the pink and white, or whether it be just league games at Kickapoo or Parkview or whatever. But the only time I ever got to actually speak with you at a competition was at the SBU track
Yeah,
meet.
I remember.
And you ran the 800.
Mm-hmm.
And I came up and I asked your mom first. I said, is it okay if I just talk to her and interview her a little bit? So actually, you are a friend of the show, because this does make 3 now. I forgot
3.
about
Yep.
that. So that is 3. But always enjoyed watching you play, and I greatly appreciate you being generous today. I know the fans will enjoy getting to hear from you. You mentioned Lauren Aldrich. You have scored her by more than 300 points in high school. Did that ever come up?
No, we never talked. I wish I would have known that, so I could
Yeah.
have been like, hey, back in high school.
And Michaela Burgess, I don't know if you ever had an opportunity to play against her, but with regards, her brother went on. He was a Division I athlete. He pitched at Florida State and then pitched at Missouri State University. And she made a comment during the interview that she can still beat him in one-on-one, and he knows it. So
Yeah.
it's just that interaction has been fun, and that's stuff that I enjoy, and I know people enjoy hearing it. But Kelsey, again, welcome to the club. career milestone list, over 2,000 points, and there's no membership dues. There's no secret handshakes. You don't have to secret knock on a door. You were in as soon as you scored your 1,000 point, your sophomore year, and then 2,000th your senior year. But congratulations, and thank you for being generous with your time. And friend of the show, Kelsey Winfrey.
Yeah, thank you for having
You
me.
have a wonderful day. You bet.
Yep.
You have a wonderful day. God bless, and we will talk to you soon.
Yes, thank you.
You bet. You're watching Missouri Milestones, the podcast here on the Missouri Sports Network. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. The heartbeat's strong, steady, unwavering. Like the people who keep this country moving. Doing what they do best. Helping neighbors, pitching in, getting it done. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. And every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.